There is a verse, a simple verse. It speaks about entering houses. It speaks about greeting one another. It says, when you enter houses, greet one another, a greeting of blessing and purity from Allah, so that you may understand. Simple, isn't it? A greeting, a word of peace, a familiar sound upon the tongue. But then comes the question. Abu Abdullah Jafar al-Sadiq asks, what do the people say about this verse? And the answer comes. They say it means that when a man enters his house, he should say, peace be upon whoever is with me. And then the Imam responds, how ignorant the people are, how blind are their hearts, blind. Over a greeting. Was it not about peace? Was it not about courtesy? But perhaps the blindness was not in what they said, but in how far they stopped, because some verses are doors, and most people only touch the handle. The Imam explains, this verse, he says, is not merely about entering a house of bricks and walls. It is about entering a house of faith. It is about believers. It is about degrees, levels, ranks. It is about a reality in which not every heart stands at the same height. Some rise, some are raised, some remain below, and in that rising there is obedience, submission, not humiliation but alignment, or the one who has not yet reached a higher station must follow the one who has, not because power demands it, but because light leads. Until he rises, until he becomes like him, until his faith is no longer imitation but realization, until knowing is no longer borrowed but embodied, and when he reaches that station, he obeys no one because he has become aligned with divine command itself, and then others look to him, others follow him, until they rise too. Faith then is not static, it is ascent.
It is a ladder hidden inside a greeting, but the narration does not stop there. The question deepens, what is the degree of a door? The door, not a door, the door, in the language of spirituality, the door is never just wood and hinges. The door is access, the door is entrance, the door is proximity. The Imam answers, the degree of the door is that one sees the Imam wherever he wishes.
Nothing veils him, not a mountain, not a sea, not a wall, nothing blocks perception. What does that mean? Is it sight of the eyes? Or sight of the heart? Because mountains block bodies, but ignorance blocks vision. Seas drown feet, but doubt drowns certainty. Walls divide space, but ego divides awareness. To see the Imam everywhere. Perhaps this is not geography, perhaps this is clarity. Because in Shia understanding, the Imam is guidance. The Imam is the axis of meaning. The Imam is not merely a person in history, but the living embodiment of divine direction. So to see the Imam everywhere may mean to perceive guidance in everything, may mean to perceive guidance in everything, to see divine order in every mountain, to see wisdom in every sea, to see truth beyond every wall. And then the Imam speaks of the lowest degree of faith, he lowest, and yet it sounds immense. He says that nothing is veiled from him, not earth, not heaven, not mountain, not sea. He is not ignorant of Allah's command. And then comes a profound declaration. Ignorance is deficiency. There is no deficiency in the Imam. Ignorance is misguidance. With the Imam is only guidance. Ignorance is lack, ignorance is veil, ignorance is shadow, and guidance is light. So perhaps the entire narration is about light, about the removal of veils, about the journey from blindness to seeing, from repetition to realization, from greeting with the tongue to greeting with recognition. Because what is a greeting? It is acknowledgement, it is recognition, it is saying, I see you. Perhaps this verse is not about saying peace be upon you. Perhaps it is about recognizing the rank of the one before you, recognizing the light within the believer, recognizing the ladder of ascent, and knowing your place upon it. The people of Kufa stopped at the surface. The Imam invites us beneath to understand that scripture has layers, that obedience is not oppression but orientation. That rank is not ego but responsibility, that knowledge is not accumulation but unveiling, and that faith grows, faith rises, faith expands until nothing remains hidden, until mountains no longer obstruct, until seas no longer separate, until walls no longer divide, until guidance is seen everywhere, and then the narration ends. Simply, know these origins and these degrees, for they reach the believer and peace, it returns to peace. But now the peace is different, not merely a word spoken upon entering a room, but a state reached after ascent, a peace born of understanding hierarchy without arrogance, of obedience without humiliation, of knowledge without pride, of guidance without ignorance. The verse began with a house. Perhaps the house is the heart, perhaps the greeting is recognition, perhaps the degrees are states of consciousness, perhaps the door is nearness, perhaps the imam is the living axis of guidance, and perhaps the blindness the imam spoke of is the blindness of stopping too soon. So when you next hear the verse, when you enter houses, greet one another, ask yourself, what house am I entering? What level am I standing on? Who is ahead of me in light? And what veil remains between my sight and truth? Because faith is not flat, it is vertical, it climbs, and every greeting may be the beginning of ascent. Peace.